was raised culturally Catholic, and my parents divorced when I was 2. My mother's family, very Italian, very Catholic, grew up doing all those things. My father's was more a functional atheist. He had a brother, my uncle, and his family who were in what I didn't know at the time was also a cult. I just knew they were weird and they went to church a lot and they had a lot of weird practices. So my whole life, we grew up kind of making fun of my uncle, my aunt, and my 2 cousins. They would go to church all day on Saturday. They didn't celebrate birthdays. They just did things that we thought were very odd. So fast forward to 1999. My father was living in Florida with his new family, and he told me about something I had not heard up until that time, the Y2K thing that was going to happen. And I had no idea about this. So he started to tell me how the world was going to end, and we had to do something about it, very drastic. So he sold his house and all his properties and his buildings, his boats, his store, and moved to the north of Vermont, very rural Vermont, and started to build a compound. So he got this farm like in bumfuck Vermont, really far from everything, built a gravity well, started to stockpile food, got animals, cows, chickens, pigs, goats, anything you would need, guns, because when the end comes, everyone's going to riot and we'll need guns. So, I mean, and this was all very uncharacteristic, where my father, who had never been religious in his life, suddenly flipped a switch and became religious. And during one of the real estate trips to Vermont to help them find this new house, they thought, he and his wife, my stepmom, thought it would be important to take me into their van and drive me around the country and start to tell me about the things that would now be forbidden. They started off by just reading the 10 Commandments over and over to me, and then they started to read from the Old Testament, thou shalt not eat the fishes of the sea unless they have scales, and creatures with cloven hooves, and I was like, what? Like, your favorite food in life is crabs. Like, every memory I have of you, every happy memory, we're sitting around eating crabs. One of the things I learned when I was like 5 years old was how to use the cracker to like get every little bit of meat out of the claws and the body. And now you're telling me it's a sin? Where you're gonna go to hell if you have crabs? I don't know. I was a vegetarian anyway, and I still am. I didn't, after age 12, I didn't even eat crabs. But so now this is a sin. And he begged me and my brother to spend, well, I guess, live, to go there for New Year's Eve of 1999 so that we could all hole up and we can survive this apocalypse together. And I said no. If the world was gonna end, which at that point I thought, hey, maybe it's going to because everyone's freaking out, I'm going to take my GeoPrism and my brother and drive from Pennsylvania to Everglade National Park in Florida to go to the 3-day fish concert. I don't even like fish, but we went. And then on New Year's Day, nothing happened. So we woke up, called my father in Vermont and said, so the world didn't end. What's up? And he's like, yeah, we're putting the house on the market.